Dig this.
I'm telling you, it's real.
You're listening to BRANDCAST Around the World with me, your host, Brandon Berkeley. Join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Brand new! You're listening to BRANDCAST.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to BRANDCAST Around the World with me, your host, Brandon Berkeley. So today has gone off to a weird start. Good morning, everybody. I woke up, and it seems that my whole schedule's kind of been turned around today. I haven't done my workout yet. It's going to be coming right after this because today is a holiday in Canada. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know what holiday it is, but happy holiday to everybody. So people are off work. So I've got a quick podcast this morning. It's not going to be too long because I have to jet shortly to try and make my workout. And then good news. Today, Dustin and I are getting together because we are starting to move forward on production with Dark Knight Until Dawn. So that's very, 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 very exciting. Just going to pull up the chat here. Excuse me because I'm falling behind today. I went to Tim Hortons to grab a coffee very quickly. I placed a mobile order and I went to the drive-thru, and as I arrived there, he said, "I have no order for you." I said, "Oh shit, here we go." So we did finding the order, but unfortunately, it took me an extra 5 minutes to get the coffee. So good morning, Hanny. I kind of mixed two names. Good morning, Hannah, Phil, Mandy, Kieran, Minot, Derek, and anybody else who might be hiding in the chat. Kevin, good morning. I hope you're all doing well. So we've got some interesting topics for you all today, as usual. Try to kick off your morning with some of the brightest. Unfortunately, not everything is entirely good news. So it seems that in Barrie, Ontario, there was a rather large explosion that happened yesterday, I believe. Give me a second here. I'm trying to re-find the article. So, explosion at Superior Propane in South End and Barrie, Ontario forces evacuation. Barrie, Ontario is somewhere close to where I live. Sudbury, Ontario, Canada. Emergency crews evacuated an area in the south end of Barrie, Ontario around 2 p.m. Friday to deal with explosions and a fire at a propane facility. So it was Friday. Barrie fire was called to Bayview Drive, south of Mapleview Drive of East Highway 400, as flames and dense black smoke filled the air above Superior Propane on Bayview Drive. So it doesn't seem like anybody was hurt, but just evacuated. But looking at some of the pictures that I wish I was able to just kind of pull up easily here, it looked like a massive explosion, and I thought I seen debris around it that looked like people. So from the sounds of it, nobody's hurt, which is great news. But a massive explosion that definitely scared some people, I guess, in the area. And I'm really hoping that everybody's all right and nobody was hurt from that. That must be an insane wake-up call on Friday. Well, not a wake-up call, I guess 2 p.m., but imagine just sitting in your living room and all of a sudden the windows blow out and you hear a giant explosion. My first thought would probably be war. I don't know. I just feel like we live in such a crazy time that, well, maybe not. I don't know. It depends on the size of explosion, but this seemed like a big one. So I would probably think that something crazy was happening. Anyways, moving on to a little bit funnier news. UFO or Iron Man? Mystery jetpack user spotted flying near LA airport. Iron Man might be dead in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but he appears to be very much alive in the real-world vicinity of the Los Angeles International Airport, where pilots have reported seeing a sky-high individual with a jetpack. The mystery man or woman was spotted cruising around the airport at a high altitude on Wednesday evening, according to the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, an air traffic controller recording from LAX airport. A Boeing 747 pilot reported seeing an object that might have resembled a jetpack 15 miles east of LAX at 5,000 feet altitude. 5,000 feet. There's actually a picture of this. It's just a really tiny picture. You can't really see it. But I think this has happened more than once. This guy is apparently testing out his own jetpack, and they don't know who it is. I guess they can't arrest him because he's clearly Iron Man. Iron Man, maybe it's Elon Musk. Would you be surprised? Would you be pissed? Would you be shocked? Because I guess this person is endangering aviation and flight control, so, you know, having this little missile kind of dodging in and out. Or what if it was an alien? Maybe we just think it's some kind of guy on a jetpack, and maybe aliens are here. Maybe they've advanced from UFOs to jetpacks, and they're observing us just a little closer. All right. Let me know what you think. What do you guys think? UFO or man? Or Iron Man? Which I would like it to be aliens. But I'm going to go with real life Iron Man, Elon Musk. That's my guess. So some cool news. Something I'm very happy to hear is that in the Tokyo Olympics, Canada's women's rugby team wears orange for Indigenous peoples. So as a lot of you know, there's been several hundred unmarked graves found of Indigenous people from residential schools in Canada. So a long time ago, we had residential schools that were basically, I think we might even still have some, to be honest. I don't know. And if we do, that's insanity. We had residential schools where the Indigenous people were placed in and basically told to become Christians and forget everything and who they were. And now we're finding unmarked graves in the thousands across Canada of dead bodies of, I assume, children and you know, probably adults as well. But so it's really, really good that people are bringing to light this situation and letting people know the truth about history and culture. I was listening to CBC radio recently, and they had a fellow come on talking about how he was black and how he came from BC, and he didn't realize the rich culture or black history in BC because when he was growing up, you know, he was taught a white history, and it excluded a lot of things, you know, from his culture, and he almost felt like he was assimilated into this. And I think this is something that's really kind of cool about 2021 is that we seem to be teaching our kids inclusivity or correctiveness or just like understanding everybody else's perspective. I do understand that it's hard to try to relate to somebody's issue when you don't understand it or you're not affected by it directly, but that's what empathy is. And I think people really need to try to put themselves in their shoes or think about their kids or their family, you know, treat people like your own, you know, because I think at the end of the day, everything could be much better. So anyways, I kind of drifted off there, but the rugby team is wearing orange bands just to bring notice to this, but I think it's really cool because it's kind of like riding with that flag. But it says the Canadian women's rugby team may have missed out on securing a repeat medal at the Tokyo Olympics, but they still made plenty of waves on the field with a low-key statement of solidarity with Indigenous peoples. During their matches this week, all members of the team were spotted incorporating orange into their red and white uniforms, whether through shoelaces, hair ties, or wristbands. The color choice was noticed by many people online and a nod towards the reconciliation with Canada's indigenous population. Orange has become a symbol of acknowledgement of the abuses Indigenous children faced in the former residential school system, most notably through the orange shirt holiday. So I'm glad that there's people in the spotlight that are taking it upon themselves to be noticed and speak out against this. There's many causes that I think are coming to light, and it's a positive thing for 2021. You know, I think the world is a crazy place, but if people band together, try to have a little bit more fun, think about everybody in a more positive light, I think you know, there could be some progressive change. It was funny because I was talking with my niece, I believe it was yesterday or the day before. And I had asked her, like she was going to see Space Jam. And I had said, have you seen the old one? And she says, yes, I have. So I'm like, oh, you know who Michael Jordan is? And she kind of looks at me, trying to think of like how to describe him, you know, and she says, oh, he's that person? I said, oh, like, yeah, he's that person. I guess that really doesn't describe him too well. But I noticed the thought kind of went through her head that she could have used other descriptive words, but she was very thoughtful in the sense of not trying to pinpoint somebody by race or color or gender, etc. So it's cool to see that, in my opinion, it's cool to see that people are kind of being progressive, because I think in a lot of ways, there's things that bother people that really shouldn't, you know, and etc. Or people are racist and whatnot. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. I've predicted that in the next 100 years, everybody's going to be this nice coffee color. We're just going to mix just like, you know, we do with coffee. It's just going to be a nice blend. And a nice, what's a good coffee? What is this? Let's see, what am I drinking right now? Does it say what kind of bean this is? Arabica or whatever. We're all going to be a nice Tim Hortons coffee color, or Starbucks, whatever your flavor is. Anyways, folks, today I do have to make this a short podcast because I have to get jetting to my workout. But I want to let you know that I am going to be gaming tonight with Philip. And we're going to be doing the Tuna Fish show. If you guys know what that is, you know we've talked about it, how we were somehow called tuna fish when we were younger. So I think we're going to kind of go back into this. It'll be the tuna fish show tonight. We're going to be playing some Fusion Frenzy, I believe we agreed upon. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It's a game for N64, I believe it first came up, but they have the originals there. So, Phil says, you can easily describe Michael Jordan by the crying man meme. That's correct. So yes, tonight, come join us on the gaming stream. We're going to have a lot of fun. If you want to figure out what time it is and whatnot, I actually am not sure off the top of my head. So give yourself a reminder by heading over to www.brandb.ca, where you can figure out all my event schedules, keep up with me personally, and get exclusive access to exclusive gaming nights on Wednesdays, or exclusive ASMR on Wednesdays, or, of course, red carpet events on Saturdays, and one special event for premium members a month. So head over to brandb.ca, get yourself hooked up. Phil, go do it yourself as well. And everybody, have a great day. We'll see you later. Remember to be excellent to each other. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Brand new! You're listening to BRANDCAST around the world.
I know you're gonna dig this.
I'm telling you, it's real.
You're listening to BRANDCAST around the world with me, your host, Brandon Berkeley. Join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Brand new! You're listening to BRANDCAST around the world.
I know you're gonna dig this.
I'm telling you, it's real.
You're listening to BRANDCAST around the world with me, your host, Brandon Berkeley. Join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Brand new! You're listening to BRANDCAST around the world.
I know you're gonna dig this.
I'm telling you, it's real.
You're listening to BRANDCAST around the world with me, your host, Brandon Berkeley. Join me every Monday, Wednesday,